What's up, everybody? Welcome to Urban World Talk Live right here. Facebook Live, YouTube, anywhere that you guys are catching us in the social media sphere. Welcome to another episode. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. I am one of your hosts, Mr. Terry Youngman, along with...
Come on, man. I'm Anthony Toomer.
That's right. We are glad to be back with you guys. We were not able to be with you last week because of just things that were going on, and so now we are pleased to be back. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of stuff has happened in the last couple of weeks. How you doing today, my man?
Man, you know me, brother. I'm always blessed, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great, man. You know, so a lot of stuff was happening in the past weekend. We got to, we were going to talk about the Super Bowl. You got to check out the Super Bowl when that came on?
Man, that was a game, bro. That was a good game.
Yeah, okay. So you was happy with the game?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I didn't have a dog in the fight, you know what I'm saying? Except some money on the line. But you know, it went good for me.
Right.
I ain't tripping.
So you was entertained by it.
Yeah,
you was
it was
entertained by it. It was a good entertaining game for you. So
Exactly.
you appreciated it like that. So I thought it was a good contest. I liked it. I didn't like how it ended. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the referees being involved in the finish. But you know, other than that, it was a good game. You know,
Bro, listen,
you know, hats off to the Chiefs. Chiefs.
Listen, here's the thing about it. When is a ref supposed to make the call, right? You know what I'm saying? So you're saying it's okay up until the last couple of minutes of the game, call it right, call it fair. The call is the call. He pulled the jersey. Plain and simple. Listen, I'm a corner. I all love to all DBs in the world, right? Tug is a tug. He admitted he made the tug. When is a ref like? Listen, and I ain't got no love for the white and black, no love for a zebra, bro, at all. You know what I'm saying?
Tick-tack call me. Tick-tack call. Come on, two. To end the Super Bowl.
No, it's
to end
not.
the Super Bowl.
He turned. Listen. He impeded his ability to run his route. He
impeded him. That brother was still going, man.
He turned his hips, bro.
That ball wasn't catchable anyway, man. You know
yes, it was. Because the ball. Listen, yes, it was.
Man.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. He turned his hips. He slowed the receiver down. Listen,
bro, that was a love tap. He's like he barely even touched it. It was just a little bit of.
He turned his hips on the route. That is impeding on the route, bro. I'm a corner.
Are you a corner?
I'm a corner.
He touched him.
Listen, James Bradbury is known for grabbing, bro. Listen,
come on,
that's
man.
his MO, bro. Listen,
Come on,
you can't say that, bro.
Hey, look, it was a good game. I'm glad the two brothers got the ball out. Hey, both of the brothers balled out,
money.
though.
I ain't tripping.
Hey,
I got
look.
my money.
Hey, Jalen Hurts balled out.
Listen,
Jalen Hurts balled out. I
He
like
could
how
have
he
won.
played, man.
Hey, he could have won MVP in a losing situation. Like
come
even
on now.
Travis Kelce said it, bro.
Come
He
on
said,
now.
"Listen, that boy could have won MVP."
That dude did his
That boy
thing,
went
man.
off, man.
Hey.
That boy went off.
Yeah. So, you know, shout out to both of them. Both of the black quarterbacks got to do their thing. That was good. A lot of people talking about the Rihanna performance. Did you know?
I enjoyed the performance. Listen,
That was good.
I thought it was nice. You know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously, she's pregnant. She ain't about to get out there and be doing a whole bunch of backflips and all that. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, for me, I thought it was a good show. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed it.
Yeah. You know, the thing was, a lot of people, you know, I thought even for not being pregnant, I thought she was fine. I mean, I don't need her.
Yeah.
You know, because then what would have been the other topic if she'd have really went out there and really did her Barbados twerking all over the place? They would have been mad at that if she'd have did it that way. So she couldn't win in that situation. She did good.
Listen,
that was a good show.
What I want to know is why was a dude like Goldberg hating, bro? Like you ain't been
heard
relevant in
that.
2 decades, bro. Listen, stay your old behind home. Don't nobody care what you think about Rihanna, bro.
You know what though? The Goldberg thing. So if you guys didn't hear, you know, and I know the Super Bowl's been a couple weeks ago. We didn't get to talk about it, so we'll be talking about it now.
We're gonna talk about it right now. It's our show.
It's a little bit. It's our show. We're gonna talk about it a little bit. Hi, Lydia. So Goldberg, pro wrestling Hall of Famer. You know, he was out in wrestling back in the 90s.
You know what I'm saying?
Doing his thing
Early
back
2000s,
then.
right.
Early 2000s, 90s.
Hey, behind the scenes, known to be a trash wrestler. Let's just get that out.
Okay,
there.
right.
Behind the scenes, known to not be very technical.
Not
he
popular with
good.
a lot of the guys back behind the scenes.
He just wasn't a good wrestler.
So he came out and he let his opinion known about the performance, but he didn't say it was a bad performance.
No, he said he thought it was trash.
He said she was disgusting.
Right.
What was disgusting?
Trash and disgusting,
Fully
bro.
clothed woman.
And what's crazy is, bro, she gave a lot of kids, local kids, opportunity to get out there and dance. I have a friend in Arizona. Her daughter was part of the dance troupe. So, like, bro, like, quit hating, man. Sit your old behind down, bro. And
But you see how they do.
sometimes you just ain't got to have an opinion, man.
No, but you see how they do us. That's all I got to say with that. You see how they do us, because there was nothing disgusting about that performance.
Not a thing about it, bro. Like,
I'm sorry. So yeah, that happened. Oh, by the way, guys, this is Urban World Talk Live. Want to like us, share us, you guys. We're trying to grow the channel. We want to grow viewership. So you guys, thank you for your support. It helps us out a whole lot when you're with us. Today we're gonna be talking about a lot of stuff. We're gonna be talking about some relationship stuff though later on. We're gonna really break down the numbers of relationship, love by the numbers. We're gonna get into that a little bit later on. But before that, I also got a chance this weekend to watch the newest Marvel MCU movie. If you checked it out, the Ant-Man movie, Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania. That was a big one. Did you get a chance to check that out yet, Ant?
Man, listen, I was on the field coaching all week.
Okay,
bro.
so you was-
I ain't get a chance to do
was with
nothing
the
but coach
boys.
football and sleep, my dude.
Yeah.
Literally got up early Saturday morning, drove to Portland,
Yeah.
coached for like 10 plus hours, then got up the very next morning, had to coach again. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So
I
you was
didn't do
doing your
nothing.
thing. You didn't get a chance to check it out. So I checked it out. I checked out the movie. Jonathan Majors was good as Kang.
Okay.
It was about 20 good minutes with him in it. And then that was about it for me.
Really? Really?
Yo, I'm sorry, man. Yo, look, man. I bring it up, man. It's just because I'm a big fan of Marvel.
Yeah,
I'm a big
100%.
fan
Right,
of the
right, right. Both
MCU,
of us are.
comics, comic book movies. I'm a big fan of movies in general.
Hey, we got to get our tickets for Comic-Con too. Comic-Con's next,
Oh, yeah.
coming up. Yeah, they
For sure.
just released them, so we got to go ahead and handle that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We definitely got to do that. But yeah, so watching the Ant-Man movie, I was excited about that to see if they were going to, because I haven't really been a big fan of the latest Marvel movies that have been coming out.
The latest set, right?
Not even just the movies, just TV shows and everything. I think they've
yeah.
been kind of dipping in quality compared to where they was at.
Yep.
And
100%.
after watching Ant-Man and the Wasp, I will say I feel like Marvel is like if you had a sports team that was winning championship, like the Patriots or something like that, right? I feel like Marvel was the Patriots, and now the Patriots trying to fight for playoff position. You know what I'm saying? Like they was the champs. They was winning every year.
Everything
Right now they fight for playoffs. They're not out of it yet, but they fight for playoffs, man.
I gotta check this one out.
Yo, man, check it out. Let me know what you think.
The only one that I've really enjoyed again, but we disagree on this was Black Panther. But we disagree on that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna have to 100% agree with you, bro. Like I feel like this latest phase of movies has just been, I don't know, poorly done. I don't know. It's just something about them that just they don't live up to the prior set. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and I'm really deep into the comics, and so there was a time in comics for people that were big readers of the comics where it was like around the 2014s, 15s, somewhere in there, and they really tried to shift the comics into the new Marvel characters.
Yeah,
so they
did.
tried to take the focus away from like a lot of the older characters and bring a lot of these new ones in that were more diverse, like Girl Iron Man, Ironheart,
Right.
Captain Marvel and Marvel, Miss Marvel, and a lot of stuff like that. And they really try to switch it up, and fans never really caught on to it.
Yeah.
And I feel like the movies are kind of adopting that same pattern where they're kind of trying to make those characters the focus now. And it's like people really just want give us Captain America and Iron Man and
Well,
Thor,
what they have
Black
to what they
Panther.
have to realize is that most of their audience is the older generation. We've been waiting for a good set of live action movies for our superheroes for a long time. And so now that we're in an era where the CGI looks really good, they can do a lot more in these superhero movies. You know what I'm saying?
I want to see them dig in more.
Come on, man. There you go.
The characters we like.
I really enjoyed how they did the first set with everybody getting their own set of movies where you were really introduced to the character. You were able to build a relationship and understand the character deeply. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Deeply. Yeah. And I feel like they're just kind of rushing through. You know what I mean? Not really giving us a lot of backstory anymore. You know what I'm saying?
No, and it's a shame because they had a really good thing going, and they gave us characters that were relatable, but also very, very entertaining. And I'm sorry, when you have a guy like Tony Stark and a guy like Captain America, those are really hard characters to just sweep away and then be like, okay, look,
we're gonna bring you up the next guy.
Yeah, here's
we
the
love him now.
Yeah, make this the focus. So,
but here's the thing. Again, you were able to fall in because we, when they started with Iron Man, a lot of us, or a lot of people, I'm not gonna say a lot of us because I knew, but a lot of people didn't really know what the plan was as far as them doing the timeline with all the movies. Yeah. So again, you wash away some great characters. and then just toss us into these new storylines. And where's the build up? We got to know Captain America, we got to know Iron Man and Tony Stark. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, they definitely have a big hill to climb, especially when you give us like you got the characters now, like, especially like you got like She-Hulk and you know what I mean. These characters, they're like the watered down versions of the ones we used to have. Like even like Sam Wilson, Captain America, like he ain't got no superpowers or nothing. He's just who he. Why? Hey, why they do a brother like that? They're gonna make the brother Captain America not have no superpowers. So what? How's he leading the Avengers when everybody in the Avengers can watch him in a fight?
Listen, here's my thing.
On, man.
Here's my thing. And all love to the brother Sam, you know what I'm saying? But listen, when Hulk get to snapping and punch that boy,
it's over.
The rehab time alone means he can't be Captain America. Because listen, after every fight with any major villain, that boy gonna have to take like 3 weeks off.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying? Listen, he gonna have to pass the shield. He gonna have to call in a sub.
Come on,
hey,
man.
bro, I need you to come hold me down for a couple weeks, bro. I broke my back.
It's over.
You know what I'm saying?
The first time. And I'm talking about the lower villains. You can't even talk about like somebody like Thanos.
Bro, listen.
It's over. What's Falcon gonna do to get to Thanos,
hey,
man? Come on, man.
I just do local crimes, okay?
Yeah,
I don't deal with these crazy brothers. Listen, y'all brothers gonna have to call somebody else for these dudes.
Right.
I don't even do that, okay?
Come on, man. So they need it. Marvel needs to step their game up, man.
You know what? I seen somebody said on Facebook today, they should open up the X-Men like they did the MCU, right? That would be dope if they went into the X-Men in the same manner.
Well, they smart. Remember, Disney didn't own the rights to the
I know.
So
right,
now
right,
they do,
right,
and they're about to start bringing them in with the Deadpool movie that's coming out.
Right, but see, what I'm saying is start completely over, like as you did with the MCU.
Yeah.
Give us, some of these backstory movies. You know what I'm saying? With Rogue, Cyclops, Wolverine, they all got good backstories where you could do some movies. You know what I'm saying? And then build up to an X-Men, a real good X-Men movie. You feel me?
Well, we'll see. I'm losing faith in Marvel right now, man. They got to get my trust back.
They said they were going to swing into this new direction. I'm not feeling it, so we'll see.
We're going to have to see. But anyway, hey, man, last week was Valentine's Day. Shout out to everybody who had nice little Valentine's Day. Did you do anything for Valentine's Day?
Work, brother. You know where I was, bro.
It's working.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. I honestly been so busy with work and moving and getting everything set up, man. I woke up that day and didn't even realize it was Valentine's Day, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Right, didn't even know it was. Yeah. It's one of them days. You got to be in a certain situation, certain place in your life for that to really resonate. So we did a little bit. Me and my wife, we had a good time. We did a few different things, but in the spirit of Valentine's Day, last week we were gonna do it. Like I said, the show got preempted. We weren't able to come on last week, but the whole point for last week was to really go into the love statistics of love and relationships, and we looked around at a lot of different polls, a lot of different. There was a lot of different places that did polls and took polls and asked different people in relationships and people that were dating, different questions and questionnaires and things like that. And there were some very interesting ones that we came across, but there was one in particular that just had a lot of interesting facts and stats. So we want to get into that right now. We're going to get into some of love by the numbers. So this is some statistics where they've gone around and they've asked several hundreds of people that are in relationships, couples, people that are single and just dating out there in the world. This is a poll that was taken a couple years ago from GQ, and I feel like it resonates pretty good still right now. So that's why we really want to look at this right now. Check this out. Oh, what's up, Jake? Jake, oh man, old school. Jake, what's going on? Shout out to Jake Boom, who's checking us out right now. So yeah, we're gonna get into our love by the numbers, because we want to break this down. And we're going to talk about some of these statistics about love and relationships. So let's get into that. Let's get into it. You ready? You ready, Toomer?
Come on, man.
You ready for that?
I stay ready, baby.
You ready for that? You a numbers guy.
This is going to be funny, man.
It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be interesting. And if you guys have any comments about some of the statistics that we're getting ready to read off and we're going to get into, let us know in the comment sections below, because we want to talk about it. And I will let you know this is a grown-up conversation. So, things might get a little spicy, might get a little hot, little. But we grown, and we're not gonna get too wild, too vulgar. But we are gonna talk about some stuff.
Don't let them lie to you now.
All right.
Don't let them lie to you now.
Okay.
We grown now.
We grown. So we're gonna keep it grown. I'm real grown. I had a birthday last week, so I'm real grown.
We see the salt, brother.
Look, you know
I
what?
see you. It look good though. Listen, I ain't hating.
Brother.
I ain't hating.
You know what? You keep saying that. You like 5 minutes younger than me. What you talking about,
listen,
man?
I said I ain't hating, brother. I like the salt, brother.
Get up out of here, man.
I like the salt.
Look,
Listen,
you saw what Obama did for the people, right?
Listen,
With the salt and pepper.
why you get so upset, brother? I like the salt, man.
You see what Obama did?
I like
with
the
salt,
salt, brother. Why you up so
I'm a
upset?
rock. You see that?
Man, we gonna
See
get a
that
hug
right
after
there?
the show, bro.
That's it,
I
man.
love you, man.
That's it, man. Go ahead, look at that.
Listen, I love you.
All right,
brother.
all right, guys. Now we're gonna get in here like 5 minutes younger than me talking about that. Get out of here. All right, love by the numbers. We gonna really break this down because there's some statistics in here that are very interesting. So we're gonna talk about it first. Let's talk about people in relationships. Okay.
Let's get to it.
Again, this poll was taken. It got thousands of people to answer some of these questions, and they really dug in. So let's get into this. So it says, number one, people in relationships are happier than those who aren't. This is just judging off of their polls here. 65% of people are in a relationship say they are extremely happy versus 32% of single people. So there's 62% to 38% of people that are in relationships that are the ones that they took polls on. Go ahead. Come on, Toom. Tell me.
No,
You got a
listen,
problem with that?
bro. Listen, you know I love my sister Lydia Bay, but you gonna leave that boy alone. Listen, oh my God, your wife is a nut, man. I love your wife, bro. She said that's a tricky word.
What
Leave my
tricky
boy,
word?
Listen, statistics, bro. Listen, that word has been kicking your ass, dog. Oh
Statistics.
my God.
Try saying it real quick. You know what I'm saying? It just kind of
Listen, man. Statistics, brother.
Statistics.
Oh, I'm dead, bro. Listen.
So, can you answer the question?
I'm
Look at you
dead.
focusing on the wrong stuff. You focusing on the wrong stuff.
I'm focusing on the viewers, brother.
Hey, look, you focus on the viewers, but they focus on the wrong stuff. We're trying to talk about the numbers now. Can we get into the numbers? Huh?
Sis, I love you, bro.
Can we get
my
into the
God.
numbers?
Oh my God. Yeah, let's get to it. All right. Give me that one more time.
Statistics.
Give me that one more time.
Okay. Oh, now I got to go back because you can't focus.
You said
'Cause
62
you can't
to
focus.
38, right?
All right, look.
62 to
check it out.
38. I got
62,
you.
38. People in relationships are happy, or at least they tend to be, according to poll, than the people that aren't in relationships. What do you think about that?
I'm going to have to say, yeah. Otherwise, why would they still be in a relationship, right? I mean, I'm going to have to agree just because, listen, so
You think?
I think on a larger scale, right? Obviously, we're talking overall happiness, right? So I would say probably just because you have a partner, somebody that to lean on, somebody to give your stresses to, that it's probably a little bit easier to deal with those stresses versus being single, having to deal with a lot of that yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially I would probably say a lot of that has to do, or a lot of those people probably are single parents. So, you know what I mean? They have a lot more stressors.
Right.
So, that one I'm going to probably say is probably right on. You know what I'm saying?
They probably got the numbers right on that one. Look, I know what it's like to be single and being in a relationship for a long time that I've been in one right now. Some of the stuff that comes up in everyday situations, I can't even imagine going through at this point in my life without having my tag team partner with me. It does make it a lot, and it makes more sense that I think if people are being honest, if they've had a healthy sample size of both, they probably tend to be more happy with somebody. But there are some people that I know that try relationships. I got a guy I know I'm real close with, my guy Rob, and he's really cool, but he loves life. He's an older guy. He loves life, not having anybody to check in with.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying? Not having anybody to answer to.
Ain't nothing wrong with it, brother.
He eats what he wants. He watches what he wants. He drinks what he wants, and he's perfectly happy like that. So there is plenty of that.
That's not to say that people can't be happy single. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say that because I'm not one of those people that really I feel like I need somebody to supplement my happiness. You know what I'm saying? I'll say it like that.
Right.
But does it sometimes make it easier? Yeah, I mean, listen, a back rub every now and again, you know what I'm saying, feels real good. Right. But then there's times, you know what I'm saying, where I want to spread my legs in my own bed and I don't need nobody next to me.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know.
You want to sit back and watch the All-Star game.
Listen, I'm going to watch whatever I want to watch in my house anyway. You know what I'm talking about?
I got you.
I guess so. Sometimes tumors is better, you know what I'm saying? You know,
look, you got.
ride the fence
I
sometimes.
think you got to have somebody who's going to be okay with.
finding the right balance, finding the right partner is very important. You know what I'm saying? Because again, it wasn't 100% of people in relationships. It was only 68. So that means there is some very, very unhappy people in relationships. Let's keep it funky.
They're not in them right
Come
now.
on, man. Or listen, or they just in bad ones.
Real quick, I'm gonna take a sidebar real quick. What do you think of the All-Star game?
Come on, man. Listen, trash.
Trash. I thought the All-Star game was trash. This is like it was like the most boring basketball I've ever seen.
That was one of the worst All-Star games I've
They're
ever seen.
sitting there watching each other dunk and shoot.
Like, I've never seen it that bad. Like, it's normally, you know what I'm saying,
right.
An exhibition game. But it was to the point, like, even on the last bucket, Dame Lillard literally runs up from the three-point line, grabs the ball, sprints out to the three-point line, and really nobody even gives chase to try to stop him.
Bro, they weren't trying at all.
There was no effort at all. Like, it was –
you know what?
Here, I'll say this, because even the older guys, even the Shaqs and the Barkleys, excuse me, y'all. Even the Shaqs and the Barkleys, and you know what I'm saying, and those guys, they even said it. Our games were exhibitions, but once that fourth quarter came in, it was time to go.
Right.
Once the middle of the third came in and it started getting tight, it's time to go. We start turning it on, and you start really seeing. Somebody said something. I forgot who it was. Somebody said something today. They said it's sad that those guys play harder in summer basketball games, pickup games in the gym, and LA Fitnesses, and in the pickup runs that they do than you did in a whole exhibition game where people paid thousands upon thousands of dollars.
Right.
Now, again, it was some nice dunks and some nice threes, but listen, we had to watch Jason Tatum. Nothing against the brother. I love Jason Tatum. He's a great baller. You know what I'm saying?
Scored 55 unchallenged
but not even that, bro. Listen, for 2 minutes straight, him and just Jaylen Brown go back and forth, and everybody's
standing there
like this.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna get us back on track because we go. I know we sidebarred that for a minute, but yeah, All-Star game was trash. They used to play a little bit, and they used to let them play around in the first quarter. They usually used to pick it up halfway through the second quarter almost. They didn't get.
It was no third.
I mean, I'm talking about back. If you go back in the 90s, they started getting less and less.
Even like in the normally you would see in the third, but in the 90s,
right.
the All-Star game, some of them dudes was really playing.
They was playing.
Jordan ain't never took an All-Star game off.
None of them
Kobe
guys,
ain't never took an All-Star game off.
Remember Iverson leading the team back? I mean,
Come
it
on,
was
man.
some games back in the day. Anyway, let me get back to the polls. I'm sorry about that, guys. We forgot to mention that earlier, so I didn't want to get into that. So anyway, let's go back to these relationship polls. Sharp left turn back over here. All right, so look, so back to the relationship polls, okay? So we found out that more people tend to be happier in relationships. Now, they said this in the poll too. It says, the older you are, the more likely you are to view marriage as an important institution. So 16 to 24, 38% feel that way. 25 through 34, 49% feel that way. 35 through 44, 56% of people feel that way. 45 through 64, 65%. And then to 64 and up, it's 73. So you can see it's a big discrepancy. Yep. And the age ranges of people that feel like marriage is an important institution to still have.
Yep.
So you can concur with that one?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, like if you look at the polls, right, 64 and up, I think a lot of those people, their flow of income has normally become slower because normally they're retired, right? So having extra income is very important in that stage because one, you don't want to be in a situation where you lose your home, you lose your house, whatever. Two, though, as they get older, you start to think about, man, I don't really want to be on this earth alone. Right. You know what I'm saying? I don't really want to do this journey alone. So it becomes a little bit more important because as your journey gets closer to the end, you start to realize like how much you probably spent of your time not really sharing that with anybody. So it becomes a little bit more important to you at that moment.
Yeah. I also think if you look at some of the numbers too, how it gradually is less important. I also feel like the older crowd, marriage was a much more prominent thing in their time.
Definitely.
And I feel like that is decreasing as it goes on. I feel like the importance of it, I feel like there's way more options for people nowadays than it used to be.
Well, also, back in the day, with the older generation, it was almost taught that, marriage was a must to be a successful adult. Exactly. That was part of being a successful adult was being married. You know what I'm saying? Right. Now where people are starting to realize like to be successful, I don't necessarily have to be in a relationship. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So I think it's a curve and a shift because we're starting to see the errors in some of the ways that we, other generations were raised and, in different ways to live. That's all.
They were. Let me look at some of these comments right here. Lydia says that, she's thanking you for co-signer with her with catching me up on my speech. So yeah, thanks for that. She also says she knows people who are single and happy too. She says, I'd say when you're older, it's always been engraved in you as something that's normal when it comes to marriage. And I think that is something that we both were getting on. So, yeah, definitely the younger generation is not viewing that as important right now. So I'm going to move down on the poll a little bit here. So this one's funny. This one, it says, most people have had sex with 1 to 5 partners. It just said that. And I'm thinking, like, is that like this year or this month, or was this of all time, or
Listen, man,
I says 1 to 5?
Boy,
Okay,
boy,
but it was just like
get some folks in trouble in here, boy.
like I was saying, no, it was an interesting number, 1 to 5 partners. So most people, I'm guessing, saying in general, have had sex with at least up to 5 people. So I'm gonna take that as a probably.
Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and say no comment. We're gonna go ahead and skip that one. I ain't got no opinion.
No opinion on that
I
one?
ain't about to,
No opinion on that
listen,
one?
I know you. You know what I'm talking about? I know you, brother. You know what I'm saying? I know you
look.
long enough, and
Hey,
I
look.
know where you're going.
Hey, look,
so
bro.
I'm gonna leave you
I
alone.
was just looking at the
Nah, I'm gonna leave you alone because I know
looking
where
at
you're
what it
going.
said,
Ain't
man.
nah, I
It
do.
said most people had 1 to 5. I'm just saying, I don't know. 1 to
Move
5.
on.
Interesting.
Next.
You want to move on next? No one touched that.
You know what I'm saying? Listen.
Hey, look,
Nah, brother. Nah, brother.
Yeah, we gonna move
nah,
up.
man.
We gonna move up. Let me check it here. Lydia says, now it's not needed. Women were taught that they need a man for financial support, and realizing now that it's not really true.
I agree.
Talking about back with the
marriage
time changing
statistics.
with marriage.
You know what I'm saying? And 100%. You know what I'm saying? You're seeing more financial freedom from women. Shout out to the ladies. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. But you. Shut your.
You see that song from Sierra?
You know what? Listen, I didn't, but I heard somebody talk about it.
Right.
Real quick, if we dive onto that. The lady I seen on Instagram or something, she was talking about it. She says, how is a woman in a marriage that a man makes over $40 million talking about being single, and you know what I'm saying?
And it's almost like,
I didn't hear the track though.
Where
so
you get the nerve to say that, right? I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of funny, but it's also like your whole relevancy in the world right now is basically based off of your guy, in a lot of ways. So, but it is what it is. Maybe she's making it for people that.
But here's the thing. I mean, music is music. We know a lot of rap artists that make a whole lot of music about what they ain't doing.
Right.
So
right.
you know what I'm saying.
Maybe she's made it for certain people.
But here's the thing though, right? That's what's selling right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you
don't know what we're talking about, Sierra had just came out and she's kind of under fire with some people for coming out with a song. I think it's called "For the Ladies," and it's like it's or "For the Girls," something like that. And it's an independent woman thing, like talking about women that don't need a man. So just check it out and see what you think about that. Let me look at some more of these. Lydia was asking. She was saying she's curious about some of those numbers.
Slide. Let it go, Lydia. Come on now. Come on. Why are you trying to do that to me, sis? You wrong.
Terry Senior says they don't respect the institution of marriage. I'm guessing she's talking about nowadays.
I'm gonna have to agree.
Right.
You see way more. Well, I mean, here the thing about it is the divorce rate is up to almost 80% now in the U.S. 80% of marriages are ending in divorce right now. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a different world than when marriages were first instituted back in the days.
I mean, but it goes both ways. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, women were almost taught, you know what I'm saying, they had to stick through anything.
Well, it's a stigma that followed you around too. If you're a woman that was divorced with kids
or unmarried at a certain age,
or not being married, was something wrong with you if you didn't have a guy.
You know what I mean?
So you go way back.
Yeah. So I mean, it goes both ways. So I agree. With Mr. With Pops.
Yeah.
But I also think that the Institute of Marriage is just being dissected a little bit more nowadays.
Yeah, definitely. And there's a lot of factors in that. All right, we're looking at this one. Now, this one's interesting. So it says, so this one's a poll about open relationships are bigger in theory than in practice. 29% of people consider it, but only 15% practice it when you're talking about open relationships. Mm-hmm. And if you look at the numbers, they're kind of interesting. From 16 to 24, it looks like monogamous relationships and open relationships looks like they're dead even. While polyamorous relationships aren't really a factor at that point, not as much. They're creeping up there, but it's not as big a factor. 25 to 34, interesting enough. Monogamous relationships way in the lead, while open relationships a little bit behind there. And then polyamorous relationships are down lower in the 25 to 34 demographic. Then when you get to 35, 44, almost the same thing in the sense that a monogamous is way out there, open is a little bit is a lot less, and polyamorous is very, very low. And it gets lower and bigger in terms of monogamous relationships as they go up in the 45, 64, and 64 and up demographics. What do you think about that?
So I know we said that this poll was taken a few years ago, right?
It was only a couple years ago.
Yeah, but I'd like to see where it is now. Now that polyamory has become much more of an open conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Polyamory, in terms of if anybody's polyamory is the practice of multiple partners, right, in a relationship. Is that what that is? Like,
yeah.
having a relationship.
So we'll break it down. The word poly means multiple. The word amorous comes from the French word amour, meaning love. So means multiple love. So again, there's 1,000 different dynamics of how people do it. We don't have to. That's a whole another conversation.
Oh, too. How are you?
You know what I'm saying? But I would like to really see how the statistics are nowadays. You know what I'm saying? If one day we'll have to pull that up.
I mean, like I said, this is not that long. This is because we're brand new in 23, so it's basically a year old.
Oh, okay, so it was last year.
This is this is so it's about a year. It's a year from last year. We're in the beginning stages.
2 years
so
ago.
it's almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I would still think that those numbers.
I'd probably say they'll probably still be similar, but I think they're probably risen a little bit more.
A little bit up, but because I think that it takes a certain type of person to be able to be, that open, right? So here's the thing.
Person. Obviously, open relationships, polyamorous relationships. There's a vast different array of alternate relationships, but they're two very, very different situations.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Two very, very vastly very different.
Well,
situations.
And that's why
Being
there's also open and polyamorous.
Right, exactly.
So
because they are two very, very different situations.
And I think open implies that you're in a committed relationship where you guys allow other things to happen. Whereas polyamory is where you're just with whatever and however many people you need to be with, right?
Yes and no.
Kind of.
Well, okay. So like you said, with an open relationship, you're pretty spot on, right? In an open relationship, it's normally in a committed relationship. Obviously, there are different boundaries, there are different rules, and obviously for each and every single relationship. But it's normally, a what you would call a monogamous. I'm not really a person that believes in monogamy as far as humans are concerned. We can talk about that,
right?
But normally it speaks to being in a monogamous situation where you're open to other things. Like you said, polyamory speaks to again, having multiple loves, having multiple relationships. But again, there's so many different dynamics that you can have. You know what I mean? There's solo poly, there's triads, there's quadruples, there's polycules. There's a vast array of how poly. Again, it's a large umbrella. You know what I mean? And it requires a lot of study, and it requires a lot of patience to learn. But honestly, it is more of the actual human way of doing relationships.
So let me see this real quick. Let me look at some of these comments real quick. Lydia said, I think most people have more. I think you're talking about in numbers. Mm-hmm. Big facts. She said, it's easier to be single. Marriage is hard. Till death do us part is a huge commitment.
Huge.
She also says, open relationships are so much easier for everyone. Save people so much hurt to be open and honest. It's interesting. She said, I respect all forms of love. If you can handle poly, more power to you. However, polyamorous are mostly men with multiple women. Yes, I know there is women with men, but mostly men with multiple women.
So, sis, I'm gonna have to disagree with you, right? And this is coming from years and years of studying. I'm not saying that you're wrong, because again, there is a difference in the numbers, right? But it's because the reason we see or hear about more of the men relationships, it's because polyamory and most alternate relationships still have a black eye in our country. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We having an alternate relationship in our country still carries a very hard stigma for most people. So most people in polyamorous relationships tend to hide their lifestyle from people that are outside of their direct circle. You know what I mean? Just because of how people will view them, how people will treat them. I know people that have lost contracts, city contracts, right. Stuff like that. So they just choose.
There's a religious component to that too.
Well, here's the thing. But here's the thing. I could show you in the Bible where polyamory is in the Bible.
Yeah, well, no, I get it, but I'm saying in most people's understanding or in their belief system, it's in their belief. You know what I mean?
Let's put quotations on it, right? Because
right, exactly. It's the
because again,
one man, one woman.
As we grow away from religion controlling how we think and how we move, right? Because again, that goes also into marriage, right? So as we go away from that and we start dissecting some of these things, we can also dig into where in the Bible that some of what would you call it? God's,
chosen people
and
were stuff like that.
Polygamous and polyamorous. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's not taught. But again, it's right there.
I got a quote right here. Mr. Youngman Sr. says it's complicated with one. I think
100%.
I think that might be where a lot of people fall when it comes to that. Because
100%.
while it's fun and while it might
it's
be,
tough.
it has its advantages. Definitely, in a lot of ways, especially if in terms of just having more people around. There's always some chances.
There's financial aspects. There's financial. There's the village aspect. There's a whole bunch of different benefits. But of course, like Mr. Youngman said, even dealing with one is tough. So dealing with multiple, you gotta be built for it.
Being in a marriage right now, in terms of having a committed relationship with other people outside. If it was me and my wife, and then had to add someone else to that, I mean, we it's like putting a puzzle together just for us to have all of our ducks in a row.
Right.
So that would be just a whole. It would be tough. And shout out to anybody who can get that.
Again,
that situation rolling if you can.
I think it comes again with a lot of patience, a lot of studying. You know what I'm saying? For me, when I took this journey, when I decided to even come out publicly, you know what I'm saying, and this is how I live my life, because I wanted to walk in my own power, walk in my own light. It was something that I did after years and years of studying. It wasn't like I woke up one morning and said, hey, I feel like I'm gonna be polyamorous today. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to walk into a situation where people were like, oh, he just wants to be with a bunch of women. Oh, he just wants to, you know what I'm saying, have a bunch of sex or whatever. I didn't want to be that guy. Right. I wanted to be knowledgeable about what I was walking into. I didn't want to live on any stigma, right? I wanted to know and be that person. Yeah. So it does take a lot of patience. It does take a lot of studying. It does, for me, I honestly didn't even really date when I was first going through this journey. I didn't even date anyone because I wanted to be sure like where I was going. And I didn't want to drag anybody in and be like, hey, why don't you take this journey with me? And then I'm like, wait, never mind. I don't want to do it anymore. It's not who I am. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So again, but one of the things that being poly has taught me is respect and love to all aspects of love. If you're monogamous, no, I don't agree with it. No, I don't really think it exists, but hey, more power to you. I love you for it, right? I love you for loving someone. Right. So do your thing. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Let me, I got right here, Sita Don Bunny says that I do want to add a respectful disagree. She says women get so much from a polyship too. So there's that. Terry Senior says, it's even more complicated with more. It takes more understanding, more confidence with the couples.
100%. 100%.
And Sita also adds, I want to get real quick. She says, just a polite disagreement. Women do receive a lot in healthy polyship as well. And again, and that's cool, Sita, because all, again, anybody's experience is welcome in terms of where your head's at and what you can deal with in your own personal. That's fun.
So Lydia just jumped back in. She said, just to be clear, I'm saying in my experience, I have seen more poly men in relationships with multiple women than women with multiple men. Listen, I'm not disagreeing with you, sis. As far as the mainstream would go, of course, that's what we see. You know what I'm saying? Like they like to almost glorify it, almost in a negative way. Like the guy,
and that may be part of it. Maybe there's a stigma that
again,
to a woman.
Again, as the alternate relationships become more favorable in the public eye, I think we'll see a shift in the statistics, you know what I'm saying, on both sides, as far as the relationship statistics go, and as far as the relationship statistics go, as far as like women with multiple men, because again, it does happen, but again, because being poly still has that black eye around it, there's still a whole lot of people that don't want to really share how they're moving and how they're living and all of that. And so I'm not, so sis, I'm agreeing with you 100%. I'm just saying that, in my experience, I know you're in your experience. It's just in my experience, I've seen it, but I agree with you 100% that I've probably seen more men with multiple women than I have with women, multiple men, but I have seen it.
All right. She also says, I definitely think that both people should be getting enough of what they need, and not that the woman gets less at all. All right, let me move on real quick to some other parts of this the poll here, because we gotta keep it going here. It says those currently in open relationships differ significantly by gender and sexuality. Additionally, newer relationships are more likely to be open and poly. So they're saying newer relationships are trending that way. And couples with kids are twice as likely to be in an open relationship as those without kids, which that's interesting. It says
gonna dive
LGBTQ
into
men, 42%, straight men, 20%, LGBTQ women, 13%, and straight women is 7% in the open relationship. So that's interesting.
Real quick, sis jumped in. Lydia says, but like Toomer said, women are looked down on more than men to have multiple partners, and that's trash. 100% says it should be equal either way. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in slut shaming either way. You know what I'm saying? If a woman is going to be open, honest, and communicative with her partners, then it's no different. Like, right? Honestly, I've probably seen, and just in my experience in this poly journey that I've been on, talking to couples and learning and growing in this journey, I've probably seen more honesty and more trust and longer lasting relationships with the women that had multiple partners with multiple men, or versus, you know, some of the men who had open, like, you know what I'm saying, not closed triads, but more open poly relationships. So 100 with you.
All right, so let me look at this right here. Also on this one, it says that infidelity. And okay, so it says of those who have been unfaithful, nearly half were forgiven by their partner, and a third say their partner never found out. 44% of people were forgiven, and 33% said they never found out. So, I mean, that's interesting, but I mean, that's just.
So,
what do you say with that?
Let's put some dice on the table.
What's that?
Taking the wife out of it, because I know you and I've known you
years.
years. I know you.
Go ahead,
have you ever cheated in your lifetime?
In my lifetime?
In your lifetime.
Of course. But the thing is, that was cheating when I was younger,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Was what one of those things is like anything else in life that you do, and you do it, and then you figure out that ain't gonna work, right? It's so much more effort to be dishonest than it is to be living an honest life.
Come on, man. Talk about
it. In order for me to get into the position that I'm at in my life right now, all of that had to go.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because the amount of mental jumping jacks you got to do to be dishonest with somebody, and it's just going to cause problems at the end of the day. So, I mean, at the end of the day, living that kind of life, that's for the birds in my opinion, in my experience, and that was a part of my learning and growing, was having to get out of that, because it was, like I said, that's you're gonna do. It's like when you were a kid in school, right? And instead of studying for the test, you know what I mean, you go through all the work. You do more work trying to cheat than you would have if you just studied for the test, right?
That last little bus ride to the school, you like,
right. You do so much more in cheating than you do in actually just doing it right.
Just being open and honest.
Right. So, at the end of the day, that was not me. What about you?
I appreciate the honesty, brother. But
what about you?
You know me, man. I done bumped my head so many damn times. Listen. I ain't listen.
Gotta get it right, man.
Hey,
Can't get it right. Can't get it right.
Tell the truth and shame the devil. Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I have bumped my head, brother. I have bumped my head.
Yeah.
But again, I was a young man.
Part of the journey, man.
I didn't understand. It was never really a thirst for sexual activity. It was a thirst for people.
Yeah.
Right. And I never understood it.
Well, they always say it's kind of an ego thing too.
It definitely was.
Right.
There was definitely some ego. Listen, I was definitely trying to find a stroke to the ego. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie to you, brother. Yeah. But after growing up, man, and you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what did it, bro? Seeing the hurt, I listen. I got away with it sometimes. Not gonna lie. But some people found out, and the hurt that it gives people.
All right.
Like, damn. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be some kind of dude. Like, I mean, listen, and I ain't knocking no brother. Listen, live how you live, move how you move. You know what I'm saying? Get it how you live, right? But for me as a man, for me personally, right? Just for me, and I ain't speaking of how do you be a man. This is how Anthony moves, right? Looking at some of the people that I hurt and that I still care about to this day, and to know that I hurt them in such a way that it changed how they live their life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the faith that they had in me.
It just was gone, you know.
You can destroy a person's, really way of thinking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so it was like at some point you got to grow up. And what really made me grow up, bro, was in 2 or 3 years where I just said, all right, I need to take a break. Like, exactly. I need to figure this out because you know what was crazy, bro? Yeah. I had hurt somebody, and I took some time to myself, and I said, what the hell is wrong with me?
Right.
I literally was sitting there one day, and I was sitting at the house, and I said, God damn it, what is wrong with you, bro? Yeah. Like, you can't, in my heart, you can't tell me you don't love that person. Yeah. I know you love that person. Right. I know you do. I feel it. Right. Why can't you do right?
You know, the thing is, when you really look back, and one of the points that I had to end up coming to in my life was really looking at it was like, what did I gain? What did I gain from this? I didn't gain anything. Like, you know, at the end of the day,
that quick moment,
the little,
but then you feel horrible to ride home.
Right. The dopamines that come from, you know,
I got the high real quick. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And it was
but
over.
on the ride home, that high, man, listen,
and it wasn't worth
drop
it.
off,
worth
like they say what they say that heroin drop off when you coming down hits you so hard, bro. It's like, God.
You're right. Let me look at some of these comments real quick. Lydia says that she's definitely cheated and been cheated on. Nobody's perfect, and absolutely the hurt is terrible from that. Let me look at this right here. Let me go back into some of these stats real quick. So it says people that have been cheated with kids, unfaithful people with kids in the household are more likely to have been forgiven than those without. 59% end up with kids, they end up getting forgiven more. 37% without kids are getting forgiven. So it's a lot more. Kids are, you know, a big deal, and that's what's keeping some of those relationships together. 47% of women did not forgive their partner who cheated on them. You know, and it's like one of those things, you know, once you lost that trust, you know, it's hard to get it back.
Listen, I'm not even sure that you can. You know what I mean? Like 100%, I don't even think it's possible.
No, and you know, it's rough because you broke it.
like they say, there's an old Chinese proverb, and I ain't gonna mess it up. So don't even quote me, and don't come for me, y'all. Leave me alone, right? But there's an old Chinese proverb that talks about nephew retro draw. See you, boy. You know, when you break a plate, you can fix it, but that crack is always there.
It's always there.
No matter what you do,
it's always gonna be there.
Because even if it's a piece of metal and you weld it, that weld line is still there.
It's always there.
You know what I'm saying?
It's always
so
there.
you can never recover what you have lost. You can repair, but you can never recover.
That's a good one. That's a good one. All right, let me read some of this real quick. Retro Josh says, sometimes you feel like you love a person, but then again, it's not the right person, so you can't settle for the wrong person, even if you love them or not. It's an interesting point, and that's another thing. It's a part of growing, and it's a part of learning who you are. And sometimes when you're on your personal growth and journey, when you start with somebody, you end up not being the same person you were when 100%. You got with them in the first place.
I mean,
and then the differences are there.
Here's the thing, though. As you grow and as we get older and as we mature, and even going through the process of love and relationships, you shouldn't be the person you were in the beginning. Right. But sometimes it's unfortunate that the person that you've grown into doesn't seem to fit and match the person that, you know what I'm saying, that you were with. Right. So, you know, sometimes it's best to you grow apart. It's very possible.
You grew apart, and that happens in love too. All right, now let's get to right here. It says also in the poll it said 1/4 of the people say they've cheated, and 1/3 of the people said that they've been cheated on. So I'm not sure if everybody's being honest.
I don't know about that one. I think some of them lying.
Right, I don't know about that one. All right, so let's look at these real quick. It says 71% of men watch. 71% to 40% more men watch porn alone than women. What do you think about that?
So I'm gonna probably say some of them dudes probably watching some shit. You know what I'm saying, that their wives ain't cool with.
Oh, they probably that.
You know what I'm saying? They wife. Listen, but you know what's crazy, bro? I've actually dated some women that be like, nah, I don't watch it at all. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like me and mine, we watch it together.
We watch it together. Well, you know, and that's one of those things you do. But you know,
listen, I do watch it by myself.
If you want your own private time, sometimes, you know, and you don't want your lady sitting there and judging you about something like, oh, you like that? Oh, you like her?
But you know what though? But you know what though? But here's a problem. Here's a problem, T. That I see. That means them dudes ain't having the right conversation. You know what I'm saying? That means them dudes are not really being honest with they. And so listen, hold on. Let's take it full circle.
Go ahead.
I'm about to take it full circle.
Go ahead, take it full circle.
Remember we talked about the 68%, right?
68%.
So that means there had to be 32% of people in relationships that weren't happy.
Oh no, yeah, they were doing it.
So wait. So what I'm saying is if the 32%, right?
Uh-huh.
Them is the dudes, you know what I'm saying, that ain't told their wives about what they really like.
Right.
Them is the dudes that's
Right.
hiding they, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
they kinks and they fetishes, so they not really satisfied in their relationship.
Right.
And what ends up happening?
Yeah.
When you're not satisfied, you're not happy
Oh,
in your
yeah,
relationship.
yeah. You start doing other things, man.
You start
doing other
cheating.
things,
Listen,
start cheating.
and we
you
go
start
back
doing
to the
all
last
this other stuff.
statistic. You know what I'm saying?
Well-
And you end up one or the third.
Well, yeah, there's that. There is that. But then also with this, porn is not. Sometimes it is just.
It's just a fantasy.
It's
It can be just a
So
fantasy.
sometimes I can understand you just want to kind of just. If you're in fantasy mode, sometimes you just might.
But here's
wanna
the thing. Let me
look
ask
at
you. But
something
here's
on
the
your
thing.
own,
Let me ask you a question, T. You know what I'm saying? We talking love. We talking relationships. We talking all that good stuff, right? Here's the thing. So if that's your fantasy, that's your escape. Don't you want to experience it? Is that? Come on now, talk to me now.
Right, but
Talk to me now.
But you're still. Those are two different things, and like I said, without knocking anything about what anybody does in their own time, there are certain things in life that you might enjoy watching somebody do that you might not want to do. You see somebody jump off a waterfall, it's like, yo, that looks crazy. I like the way
I
that
ain't
looks.
jumping off
I
no
ain't
water.
doing it.
Listen,
I ain't doing it.
I seen Tom Brady a couple years ago jump off the. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't jumping
that's
off.
That's great. I ain't doing that though. So I mean, like sometimes some people just want to
get
keep
you.
that in the
I
fantasy.
feel you.
land.
I
Let
feel
me read
you.
some of these real quick. Cedar says lies. We just hide it better. So I guess she said
Facts.
women are watching it.
Facts.
They just hide it better. You remember? So the guys remember the Chris Rock? Where do we get caught? Where do we catch it? Where they catch it? In the VCR. He said Chris Rock was like, dudes, they get caught leaving in the VCR. Back in those days. Now you guys ain't gonna worry about that now.
Listen, all you got to do is go to your private
Oh
viewing.
man,
Listen,
hey,
I ain't gonna
the
lie to you,
internet,
bro.
the internet was the best thing that ever invented for porn.
Bro, listen, my
Oh my God.
Hey, my private
Brown
tabs
paperback days
popping.
is over.
My private tabs is popping, brother. You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
all right. Jade Wild, what's up, Jade?
Jay, what's
She
going
said,
on?
porn. What are we watching? Lydia says, I know so many women who hide. What you trying to say? With the no, no, trust me, I know her. I know her. All right. Also, it says more women use sex toys alone than men. 40% to 26%. I can definitely agree. I think that number's high on the men, to be honest.
Listen, there are. What sexuality are we talking? You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
that you know,
I got you.
And I ain't hating on nobody.
And I'm not hating on nobody.
Do you
Do what you do. Do what you do.
Well, hey, listen, what
Right.
you do when you behind in your
Right.
bed don't make me bust.
I feel like the women, their sex toys are so much easier to just fire up, turn it on, and
Man,
get
hold on.
going.
But did
Theirs
you
is
see
just-
that? Did you see that?
Theirs are easy to
That
just
mop
fire
and
up.
glow thing that's floating over Instagram, bro. Man, listen, bro.
What's it do, man?
Hey, that thing look like a car wash, bro.
Oh, my
Have you
goodness.
ain't seen it?
I think I seen
That's
it.
the same people
I
that
think I
made the
seen it.
rose, right?
Oh,
That thing
man.
look like a mop and glow
Oh,
car wash,
man.
bro.
Look,
Listen,
man.
but it look crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh,
It look
my
crazy.
goodness.
I
Oh,
ain't
my
messing with
goodness.
it,
It's
but it
a
look
whole
crazy.
nother- I feel like it's so much, man. I couldn't imagine opening the package. I'm sorry,
No,
man. I'm not
imagine
knocking it.
myself
I'm
looking
not
down
knocking it.
there.
I'm just saying me, it would be crazy.
Bro, listen, I couldn't imagine myself sitting down there holding that thing and that thing just, bro.
Hey, can you imagine putting it together?
Bro, it looked like your shit just came out of a car wash.
I wonder if the directions is like an IKEA directions where you gotta like really like try to figure that out. You sit there for like 2 hours trying to put this joint together. Like, hold up, does this go here? And then don't put it together wrong because you don't know what's about to happen.
Fuck around being in the hospital. That thing stuck on you, man. You like,
Hey,
listen,
like,
I
oh,
don't
you
even
got
know
the
what
new
happened,
mop and
man.
glow, huh?
Hey.
You got the new mop and glow, didn't you? Yeah, we done seen a couple of y'all.
Bro, how do you, bro, listen, how do you tell the nurse? How do you tell the nurse that you got stuck in the mop and glow?
I got stuck in the mop and glow. You know they get that all the time. They have people coming in there all the time with the
listen.
mop and glow stuck to them.
Bro, listen, I can't
Oh,
even
man.
imagine, bro.
You gotta read the instructions.
Listen, bro, listen. Hey, I'm taking that thing straight to the Geek Squad. Hey,
I'ma
I
need
y'all
your
to put this
assistance.
together for your boy.
I'ma need your
Come
assistance.
on, man.
Let me see
Help
what
me
I-
out. Look, you mess around.
Lydia
Hey,
says,
you mess
I
around.
know-
Put the wrong room in that thing, boy. That thing be hot on you, man. Be sitting there burning for the next 3
Burning.
weeks, man.
Oh man, I got that mop and glow.
Oh my God,
Oh,
not that
man.
mop and glow, bro.
All right, man.
I'm gonna buy one of them for the show, bro.
Yo,
I'm
man, we gonna bring it up. Hey,
I'm bringing the mop
you know
and
what?
glow.
You know what? Let's do an unboxing of the mop and glow. We're gonna do an unboxing
That's what we gonna do.
episode.
We gonna do
We're
an
gonna
unboxing
unbox it
of
and
the
we're gonna
mop
see
and
if it
glow.
comes together. All right, let me see it. Lydia said she knows some women that hide. Jay says that's what incognito is for.
100%.
Jade says women have more sex toy
Way
options.
more.
They
Bro,
do.
listen, have you ever walked into the women's section at Lovers, bro?
I've seen
Listen,
some stuff,
I ain't
man.
gonna lie, I be intimidated. Like, bro, whoa.
Yo, I've seen some stuff.
Listen,
Yo.
bro, you be seeing some things.
I
I be like, bro, who's touching that?
No, I've seen it.
Who's touching that?
I've seen it. Some of the contraptions that they got, I admire the way they're put together, the structure of them.
Bro, you know who's crazy with the contraptions?
Who's that?
Marcus.
Okay.
Marcus.
Okay.
Mia's Marcus, bro.
Yeah.
He be building up, bro, from hand. I'm like, bro, where did you learn how to build
Shout out to
sex
Marcus.
chairs?
Let
That's
me-
crazy.
let me get on there. Put his business out there. I'm sure he don't mind.
He don't care. Listen,
Jade
Marcus
said,
don't care.
Marcus don't care. I'm very shy and timid. Jade, nobody believes you. Nobody believes that. Lydia says, the geek
wait,
swatch is
hold
dead.
on, wait, what? Jade said what?
She says, isn't all of Lovers a woman's section mostly? Pretty much.
100%. Pretty much. Listen.
All right, look, I gotta move through these. I gotta move through these real quick here. Okay. According to the poll, it said the 3 most important elements of a loving relationship. Left turn. We're taking a left turn from the sex toys and the mop and
Man,
glove.
listen, I was on a roll.
Open communication, emotional connection, spending time together. Women, do you agree with that? Let us know with that. That's what they're saying, the 3 most important elements of a relationship. I think the communication is definitely, I feel like that, even without, you know what I mean, without even, I think communication
But here's
is
my
the-
thing, though. Right. Listen, where's honesty?
I think that would go with communication, though, right? I mean, if you're not having an honest communication, you're not really having communication.
You know what? I give you that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Every now and then, I gotta throw a couple
I
of.
give that one.
And your emotional connection to spending time together. I think those are very important things because you can put a lot of different little pieces of the pie in those in
I
time
get
to spending time together and emotionally. So I think that those are important. Let's move on real quick here because we're getting down to the wire here. It says 71% of people say that sex is important in a relationship. 71.
Should have been 100%. I don't know what
71.
Listen,
71.
there are some people that can't. So
Yeah.
there's
I
well, you
mean,
know what though? But again, there are some people that aren't necessarily sexually attracted to human. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
in that sense,
I mean, it
you know,
happens. 71 still seems a little low, though. 71 seems a little low. 24% of people say that sex is crucial. Again, that seems low to me. I feel like, you look, sex is not everything. Sex is not everything, but I feel like if you're having sex, it's because you are probably into the person that you're with.
No.
If you're in a regular relationship, in a committed relationship,
There is some people out there right now that are stuck in some bad relationships, that are having some bad sex, and they stuck and they ain't
well,
saying
yeah,
nothing.
but I'm not
and-
saying in that sense. I'm not saying in a bad relationship. I'm saying in a key to a
So-
healthy relationship. is
Okay,
what I'm saying.
healthy.
I'm
right?
saying
But
that's what I
listen,
meant.
But what I'm saying is, listen, we got to talk about unhealthy too. We got to talk about all
Well,
relationships.
yeah, I
right?
mean,
so
when that's that.
so what I'm saying is, there's some people out there right now, bro, that are stuck in some real bad sex lives.
Bad
you know what I'm
sex life. Well, so what do you do with this? What do you do when you're in a relationship with somebody? Everything else is pretty good. You like the person that they are. Everything around the house is good. They got good jobs, good everything. All of that stuff is meshing, but sex is whack. What do you do? I mean, sex is whack.
Like, hold on, like we talking like whack, like untrainable whack,
Bruh,
or
it's
like
whack. Like you don't tried it, you done talked about it, and they're just not getting it. They're not understanding it. It's not going down. I mean, like.
So I think we had that open relationship conversation.
So you think you're gonna switch categories,
bro.
That monogamous is gonna switch to the open.
Well, here, listen. Humans ain't monogamous anyway. We can dive into that another episode. Humans
Yeah.
are not monogamous, but listen. Listen, after about the third or fourth try, brother.
Yes, it's probably not. We probably not gonna go too much further. I feel like that's a part of the whole deal. That's a part of the package.
I know it is in my house.
Yeah.
So listen,
Yeah.
we.
I feel like that's gotta be something there.
Nah.
Jade is saying no. What are you saying no to, Jade? I don't know which one she was saying no to. Lydia says, if we are communicating properly, then I'm going to be honest. If I'm emotionally connected to you, I care about your feelings and and wouldn't lie to you. So for me, honesty is part of both of those. So she agrees with what we were saying earlier.
Cedar says at a third, fourth, or fifth, 100%.
Oh, important one. So she wants to go in terms of the top 3 things that we went to. She wants a fourth.
No. She's talking about having fun.
Oh, she's talking about adding that. Oh, you're talking about if the stuff is whack. Oh, okay, and that's back to your
Come
open
on, man. Listen,
poly.
you got to have some communication, right?
Oh, okay. Abby, what's up, Abby? She said she just got here. Shout out to Abby. Jade says, "Oh no, the no was to needing an emotional connection for sex." So Jade, and yeah, I think I'm in a relationship though. Do you feel like? And I want to ask you, do you feel like if you were in a relationship, an actual monogamous relationship, if that was ever happened, or any kind of relationship, do you feel like
I think what Jade is saying is that she has the ability to have sex without the emotional connection. She does not
So
have to be
it
emotionally
doesn't
connected.
need to happen.
Right. Which I agree with. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
and that's an honest. But a lot of people do.
I feel like people make a huge mistake when they base a lot of their feelings off of the sex they have in relationships. That is a downfall in relationships.
It is, and let's be clear here. Understand that I know that there's been some great one night stands, right?
Come on.
I mean, you didn't.
Come on.
There was no emotions involved in that like that. So one night stands do happen, and it's something. I think the thing with the poll was talking about, and it said crucial in relationships. So they're really specifying on that regard that this is an ongoing relationship that you're having with somebody in that sense. So I think that's what they mean. Is it important in that type of thing when you're going on?
I got you.
Let me see. It says 40% of people are very satisfied with their sex life. It says 1/3 of the people say that they aren't currently having sex. So that's interesting. Now, this is the interesting part of this poll here. It said 34% of Asian people, are satisfied with their sex life. 35% of white people are satisfied with their sex life. 53% of Hispanic people are satisfied with their sex life. And for the win, black people, 63% is satisfied with their sex life.
Keep throwing it
Look,
back.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna just go ahead and take the win on that one. No, it's interesting. No, that's an interesting number.
I'm gonna pull my LeBron. You know what I'm saying?
Put the crown on. But I'd be interested to see. Do you guys agree with that number? I don't know. It also says 56% of straight women said that they wouldn't date a man who isn't financially secure. Women, how do y'all feel about that? Are you not dating men who are if they're not financially secure, is that a deal breaker? Are you not dating them? That's what they're saying. I mean, we can't really speak to that. That would be the ladies to talk about that one.
But we can speak to experience.
Okay,
right?
Go for it.
Hey, there are some good ladies that are willing to help you, not necessarily build you, but help you build.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that statistic probably in today's world, we see it all over social media. We see it on every other podcast.
Right.
There's a whole sex of women, you know what I'm saying they're not dating. I seen one group of women, they said they wouldn't date a man if he made less than 50. The average American, right, man or woman makes 35.
Right.
So now we're talking exceptional. So
right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Come on,
right.
ladies. We got to keep it 100, keep it real.
Most
of y'all ain't making, and I'm not talking about. I know a lot of women that are making 50 plus and making close to 100 or more. But what I'm saying is the average American, right? The average American makes 35K. Yeah. So you got to watch how you put your standards out there.
Right. You do have to watch that. Let me get back to some of these comments here real quick. Jade Watt says that she's done monogamous twice, didn't have sex with either husband. I wonder, was that part of why there were exes now?
We'll have to come back to it.
We'll have to come back to that. And she also said, for me, an emotional connection can lead to sex, but I can have platonic emotional connection in relationships, and I can have sexual relationship with no emotional connection. And Lydia says, no, she would not date a financially unstable man. I think the thing is, I think most people in relationships are going to be safer and better off if you're dating somebody who's closer to where you're at.
Yep.
Because that's going to alleviate a lot of drama, a lot of headaches, a lot of problems if you just kind of just stick within that wheelhouse and maybe not be so extravagant. Like if you're just a normal chick, then if you're saying like I need a guy who makes like way, way more money than me, might be a little much. But if you're saying somebody who's able to hold their own with you, I think that's okay.
Right.
I don't think that's bad.
We almost at our time. Our producers letting us know we about there, y'all. We got to get ready to get up out of here.
Right. Look. We appreciate you guys. We got through most of the poll. There's a few other things that we want to touch on, but we're going to come back to this because this is obviously something that is There's a lot more to these stats. There's some statistics that I want to get to. We didn't even get a chance to get into, but that's because these things deserve the proper amount of time to breathe and talk about. So we like to dig into them. So real quick, let me see. I want to read one or two comments real quick. See, this says, so funny how many of those same women who don't date below wage don't even make their wage themselves. And Lydia says, I expect at least what I bring, and I'm stable, and I expect you to be the same. All right, so if you guys have any more comments, put them in the comment section below. We'll get back to you guys on it. We want to thank you guys. Share, like this, share it with us, help us grow. We appreciate you guys joining us. We're going to be back next week with more hot content for my man Anthony Toomer.
Come on.
This is Terry Youngman. Thank you guys for joining us, and until next time, peace out.